Hello, this is Dr. Lee. You're probably in clinic today because you have a stuffy nose. You can't breathe through your nose very well. It gets worse when you lay down, especially when you're trying to sleep at night. You may have some headaches and some pressure, and you may even also feel kind of this dull pressure in your ears as well. And you may have some sneezing and some clear drainage from your nose. And you've probably been told in the past that you have sinusitis and given allergies, excuse me, given antibiotics for this, but you've had this for years now and you just can't breathe through your nose and it's very annoying. What you have is something called rhinitis, most likely allergic rhinitis, but there's many other forms of rhinitis. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about what this is, how we treat it, what your options are. So, this is your nose, and in your nose are these things that look like fins. They're called turbinates. They look like radiator fins, and they kind of go in. They kind of reach into your nose, and that's how you breathe through. These turbinates can swell quite a bit, and when they swell, then you can't breathe through your nose. And why do they swell? Well, that's because your body, your immune system, is reacting to something in the environment, be it dust, be it diesel fumes, smoke, pollen, whatever. It's reacting to it as if it is some kind of pathogen, like it's something it needs to fight off. So essentially, you kind of feel like you have a cold all the time, but you don't have a cold because your immune system is fighting off these things like pollen and dust as if it is a virus, and it makes you stuffy, it makes you sneezy, and you just kind of feel like you have a cold. Why is that? We don't really know. We don't know why some people have that and why some people don't, but it's very common. Up to 40% of the adults in the world have allergic rhinitis. So it's the most common thing we see in clinic, and it is a very annoying thing, and it causes problems for lots of people. Because of that, there's a lot of drugs that people have developed for it, and you have most likely, by the time you come to this clinic, you've probably tried most of these. One is a nasal steroid. This is Flonase, otherwise called fluticasone. That's the generic name. There's Rhinocort, Nasacort, Nasonex. These are all steroids that you spray into your nose. Now, this is not the steroid that gives you muscles. These are the steroids that suppress your immune system. They make your immune system not as reactive. And so that's what you want in allergies, because your immune system is kind of overactive towards things it doesn't need to fight off. The other things is people have tried probably allergy pills, Zyrtec, Claritin, Allegra, Benadryl. These are all allergy medications. These are antihistamines, and histamine is a way that your immune system communicates with itself to rev itself up to fight off these things. The other thing that people have tried is something called azolastine or Astelin nasal spray. This is a antihistamine that you spray into your nose instead of using it as a pill. And there is another drug called Montelukast or Singulair, which is a leukotriene inhibitor. So basically, there's four drugs. There is nasal steroids, there's nasal antihistamines, oral antihistamines, and then an oral leukotriene inhibitor, which is Singulair or Montelukast. There's another commonly used drug called uh, phenylephrine or oxymetazoline, Afrin nasal spray. Now, these things work very well, but they're temporary, and if you're not supposed to use them for more than 1 or 2 days. The thing to know about the Flonase and the nasal steroids is that you do need to use them every day, whether or not you feel like it, for at least a couple of weeks before you feel the effects of it. So you spray this in your nose, you're not going to notice a difference for until you've taken it every day for a few weeks. Whereas these sprays, the nasal decongestant sprays that you can buy over the counter, that have either phenylephrine or oxymetazoline in them, they work immediately. When you spray it in there, within minutes you feel better. But if you take these long term, they can cause a problem called rhinitis medicamentosa, which you don't want. It makes you stuffier, it makes you more miserable, and then you're gonna have to wean yourself off of this thing. And while you're weaning yourself off of it, you're gonna be even stuffier than you ever were. Okay, so those are the medication things you can do. If you've tried all these medications and and you still have symptoms, in a way you're kind of out of luck, because that's the limit. Well, not this one. You don't want to use that one long term, but you're kind of out of luck because that's all we have. Current science has those are the only medications we have currently. Now, what are some non-medication things you can do? One of the things you can do is you can use something like Neomed sinus rinse or a neti pot to rinse out the inside of your nose. What this does is this mechanically removes whatever things your body is trying to fight off, the dust or the pollen or that kind of stuff. So basically, there's less of it to make your immune system upset. The other thing you can do is if they know that you're allergic to a very specific thing, you can get allergy shots, also called immunotherapy. So those are the two non-pharmacologic things you can do. The last thing you can do is try dietary changes. There's very strong links between diet and obesity and allergy. So losing weight, as in most medical problems, makes allergy better. And in terms of foods, what are the foods that make allergies better, and what are the foods that make allergies worse? So the things that make allergies worse: high calorie foods, sugar, processed carbs, animal foods. Those are like dairy products, cheese, butter, and milk, yogurt, and meat, and then animal fats and proteins. So basically, those are all pro-allergenic. Saturated fatty acids, that's like margarine and butter and coconut oil. Cholesterol, medium chain fatty acids, those are also in the same kinds of foods: butter, cheese, dairy products, that kind of stuff, and palm oil, things like that. So those are the things that are very common in the American diet. They are everywhere in the American diet. American diet is very high in dairy products, lots of cheese, lots of meat, lots of bacon, lots of processed carbohydrates, lots of sugar. Those things drive these allergies. The things that are anti-allergic foods are fruits and vegetables, cereals, that means whole grains, legumes, that's beans. Lots of different kinds of dietary fiber. Dietary fiber is found in all plants and grains and beans. Omega-3 fatty acids, those are found in oily fish, usually like in the form of like sardines and things like that. Dietary flavonoids, those are also a type of phytochemical found in plants. They're only found in plants. And if you want to know which plants are the highest, those are the green leafy vegetables, citrus, and berries. And then vitamins A, D, E, and zinc and iron. So those are the things. So you can see these are the foods that Americans generally tend not to eat. Lots of fruits and vegetables, lots of whole grains, lots of beans, lots of different kinds of fiber, and then olive oil and small oily fish. And then again, flavonoids, these are all plants. So mostly a plant, lots of plants here, lots of animal products here. That's basically the gist of it. And then lastly, there is evidence to show that moderate exercise, performed about 30 minutes a day, helps people with symptoms of allergic rhinitis. So those are it. If you have questions, let me know in the comments below, or I should be in shortly to answer any questions.